We've mostly focused on identity for people. Now we're shifting to identity for machines. As AI agents make decisions, move money, and sign contracts, they'll need verifiable identities and clear permissions. Who they are and what they're allowed to do will matter as much as the actions they take. For most of the web era, identity has been human-centric. One person, one account, with one organization in the middle, deciding who you are and what you can do. AI breaks that pattern. Software agents, APIs, and devices now talk to each other constantly, often without a human in the loop. In that world, identity becomes polycentric. Many different actors, human and non-human, must recognize, trust, and constrain each other. The strategic shift is from managing individual logins to managing a dynamic, shared trust fabric across an entire ecosystem. Machine identity actually spans three very different worlds. Devices are physical things, routers, sensors, phones. Their identities are baked into hardware, and the big risks are insecure supply chains and hard-to-patch chips. Services are software workloads and APIs. Here, identity is usually an API key or token, and the main headache is secret sprawl and cross-domain trust. AI agents introduce something new: autonomy. Their identity must track models, prompts, and tools, and you also have to govern what they're allowed to decide on their own. When AI agents act for people or organizations, the core idea is delegation. An agent should never have vague, open-ended power. It should carry a specific verifiable token that says who it represents, what actions it may take, under what limits, and for how long. Think, you can pay my bills, but only up to this amount, only at these merchants, and only today. Designing identity this way keeps accountability anchored to a human or organization, even when most actions are automated. In real systems, authority is almost never a single handoff. You might authorize a travel assistant, which spins up a booking bot, which talks to an airline API, and so on. The key question becomes, who is ultimately acting on behalf of whom, and how do you shut it down if needed? You need two capabilities: a clear, auditable chain of delegation across every hop, and a kill switch that can revoke that chain instantly, based on policy decisions, not just low-level access keys. When an autonomous agent misbehaves, identity is what turns chaos into a legal story. There's a human or organization that set intent, one or more agents that executed actions, a model provider, and an infrastructure platform that actually ran the code. If those roles aren't clearly identified and linked to each action, you get an accountability vacuum. Everyone can plausibly deny responsibility. Future identity systems must bind events to specific agents, their principles, and the runtime environment, so investigators can reconstruct what happened and regulators can assign liability. Once AI agents start acting on behalf of people, logs become legal evidence, not just debugging data. A useful mental model: every sensitive agent action should answer 4 questions. Who is the accountable human behind this decision? Which specific agent or model instance actually executed it? What was the model's state and input context at that moment? And what concrete action was carried out against which system or counterparty? When any of these are missing, you lose the ability to investigate incidents, prove compliance, or fairly assign responsibility. As AI agents, human operators, and back-end systems all act in the same interfaces, it becomes easy for people to be confused or misled about who is actually doing what. Explicit labeling is the countermeasure. Every actor needs a clear, persistent identity tag. Is this a human, an automated process, or an AI agent acting on someone's behalf? That simple transparency is what keeps consent meaningful and trust intact in mixed ecosystems. Trust in machine actors is never all or nothing. You design layers that tightly constrain what agents can do, and then gradually expand scope as they earn trust. Start with policy guardrails, strict allow lists and deny lists, safe subsets of tools, geofencing, and hard spending caps. That defines the playground. Then require humans in the loop for anything high risk: signing contracts, releasing funds, or sharing sensitive data. Finally, apply progressive trust. Give agents read-only or simulation rights first, then graduate them to real write access only after they behave safely over time. Regulators are starting from sectors they already know: high-risk AI, critical infrastructure, and financial markets. But the direction of travel is broader. Any AI agent that can move money, data, or physical systems will likely need a verifiable identity, registration, and strong audit trails. For you, that means agent identity isn't just a design choice, it's pre-compliance work. If you build clear ownership, assurance levels, logging, and revocation into agents now, you'll be ready when third-party audits and cross-border recognition become mandatory instead of optional. Machine identity becomes concrete the moment agents start acting on our behalf. In a smart city, traffic systems and vehicles negotiate with each other. Identity decides which signals to trust and who's allowed to override for an ambulance. Inside enterprises, procurement bots sign contracts and move money only if their identities and delegated limits check out. For consumers, your AI assistant may soon access health records and book travel, guided by granular, verifiable permissions instead of today's crude access everything tokens. As AI agents and services take action, identity has to treat them as real actors, not background features. Give every agent a clear identity. Delegate access in narrow, time-boxed, revocable ways. Log everything needed to reconstruct who did what, when, and on whose behalf. And keep your technical design aligned with evolving laws, so accountability, not just capability, becomes your competitive edge.